get into this.
You know, happy birthday. Happy birthday, brother. I'm gonna give you a new asshole on your head. So you can shit and think at the same time.
You fucking shoot it, man. Y'all got some bullet for the nigga come slide right now?
When people
Alright, we watching the beef that ended Wavy Navy Poof. I don't fucking know who that is. I don't know who that is. My bad. Now make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Let's watch it. Wavy Navy Poof. Let's watch it.
I swear, bruh, you gotta admit a rapper's music kind of hits different when you know they're telling the whole truth about walking their op down in broad daylight.
Get that car box man, we get them gone like any day.
Tonight, a gunman takes aim at a car with children inside.
The sound of bullets flying through the air, caught on camera.
You gotta run that shit back a couple times just to see what he's saying. The craziest example of this shit has to be the ongoing gang war in the city of Miami. Miami police just released multiple suspects allegedly behind the death of a rising QC artist, Wavy Navy Poo. And one of the suspects is none other than another rising Miami rapper named TWITCH.TVLOLOHAVIN, known for being a USDA first round crash out. If you've ever been following this channel for a minute, you know we covered this whole situation back in 2022 when it was first announced that Wavy Navy Poo was gunned down. At the time though, it was pretty much a cold trail, and the only information we had was a promising rapper from Miami-Dade was gunned down in front of his wife and kids and shot over 80 times with a switch and an AR.
God damn.
RP. However, with this new information releasing 2 days ago, we were able to piece together a hectic last day in a deadly beef that resulted in the QC artist getting gunned down in broad daylight by his biggest op, who was also a competitor. So today we got to get into the crazy beef in Miami-Dade right now, in the beef that took out Wavy Navy Poo. But before we do, gang, I'm gonna need you to do something for me, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna run to this video. Make sure you check out the merch link in the description at SafeSafeWorld.com. Hit that notification bell so whenever I post, y'all tune in button. We going right now. Let's get 60 away. Tap in and hit that hype button. We going right now. Let's get into it. We going right now. Let's get into it.
You know, happy birthday. Happy birthday, brother. I'm gonna give you a new asshole on your head. So you can shit and think at the same time.
You fucking shoot it, man. Y'all got some bullet for the nigga come slide right now?
When people think about the gang wars in Florida, they usually think of Jacksonville or Broward County. However, this crazy beef is one of the few times that we see actual rappers from Miami-Dade, which is low-key a rare sight. It's crazy. I literally have lived in Miami-Dade for like 10 years, and there was barely any rappers that were literally blowing up that were from actual Miami-Dade. At one point, this county was known for its crazy activities, with cities like Carroll City, Liberty City, Overtown being known as like high crime and violent areas with a lot of gang violence. I mean, shit, even Pablo Escobar had a full-on shootout at Daylin Mall in South Miami back in the 80s. However, ever since the pandemic, there's been a huge flow of old people moving into Florida from all other places like New York and California. This has driven up the rent like crazy and slowly caused gentrification of areas throughout the city, for better or for worse. That, and the fact that locals don't really give Miami-Dade rappers that much love, it's not often that you see the drill scene really highlighted. However, multiple groups within the area have been at war for the past couple years in the most disrespectful fashion known to man. On one side, we got Wavy Navy Poo from the Brownsville area, aka Brown Sub neighborhood, just north of Alapata. Growing up in the Brown Subs was like a grimy, dangerous environment full of gangs, drugs, and murders, which he details in this interview.
Miami is a crab in a bucket, man. Miami, I love my city though, you know what I'm saying? It ain't what it is with this rap shit, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta force your hand with the city, like, you gotta force them to fuck with you. Ain't just gonna be like off the music or off what you did, and you get what I'm saying?
Why do you think it is like that?
I don't know, man. Crab in the bucket, I can't even define that, you feel me?
Yeah.
The only way out of the streets in this part of Miami is either football or rapping, which led Wavy Navy Poo to play football to stay out of the way. However, at 16 or 17, He realized his football dreams were cooked after he only got an offer from a bootleg-ass school where he received a scholarship from North Dakota. And since there wasn't much opportunities to make money in his environment, it led him to jumping off the porch and joining a clique called 024. It was honestly pretty rough for bro in the streets. Even before his eventual murder, he would get into a targeted gang shooting where his car was shot up and he was almost killed. Honestly, a crazy situation. This is the only rapper that I've seen make a vlog with his homies that got shot multiple times, literally just getting out of the hospital, talking about, dang, these dudes didn't kill me. Oh well, let's just keep going about our day.
Right here. You see what they shooting with, bro? Look, little baby shit. They're shooting with 2 guns, though.
Like some big shit right here, but
I'm telling you, they had probably 3 guns, cause I had to get hit with like a.
I told y'all, man. Murders made this. I almost got my ass popped today. I almost got my ass fucked up today.
Yeah, they definitely were hit.
This shit. Shot the hospital, man. You heard me? You fresh out this shit, man. Back out here waving. Still gonna take over this shit. This shit ain't nothing.
This eventually tried to prompt him to eventually get out of the city of Miami. The whole time he was in the streets though, he would make remixes of popping rappers like Kodak, Lil Durk, and somehow get signed to QC without even having any songs out. He had a promising career, but he had pretty substantial beef with people close within his city in the next door town of Liberty City. On the other hand, Liberty City area had another clique called ABK, or Anybody Killers, which was also making waves. They had some artists like D30 and a lot of other like smaller local artists. And the biggest associate happened to be a renegade from Northwest Miami named Papo Chiefin, another rapper who was making local waves, but wasn't as big as Wavy Navy Pooh scoring a record deal or anything like that. While it's not 100% sure what caused their beef, members of Wavy Navy and ABK would trade disses on their stories over the years and would have a lot of online beef. However, things would take a turn for the worse when a broad day shooting outside of the Miami Zoo took place that would change the lives of everyone involved for the worse, which we got to get into in chapter 2, the murder.
Tonight, a gunman takes aim at a car with children inside. Police say that the target was the driver, and tonight he's dead, and we're learning more about the shooting. NBC Search reporter Claudia DeCampo, she's live in Doral with the latest on the investigation tonight. Claudia.
Well, callers, detectives are still looking for that shooter, but today they identified the man who died.
The sound of bullets flying through the air caught on camera from a dash cam of a car near the Friday night shooting. Miami-Dade police on Saturday identifying a victim, 27-year-old Chandler Bobian, also known as rapper Wavy Navy Pooh. The shooting happened on the intersection of Southwest 152nd Street and 127th Street near Zoo, Miami.
Approached him from the driver's side, opened fire, and then fled westbound on 152 Street.
Detectives say Bobian had a 1-year-old child in the passenger front seat, a 5-year-old, and a woman in the back seat.
This person was willing and brazen enough to open fire at an intersection at 5:30 in the afternoon in the middle of commute time. Total disregard of who he could have killed. In this case, could have killed a 1-year-old.
Imagine being posted up at a stoplight pretty far from your whole hood and you're getting ambushed in a broad day shooting with your wife and your kid in the car with you. Honestly, bro, it's a crazy situation. And when this first happened, it kind of had the rap game like, dang, this is honestly crazy, especially this is a QC artist getting gunned down. And it started a domino effect that basically just a couple days ago ended up sort of explaining the whole story of what went down. And it all started on the day of January 14th, 2022. That's where Miami rapper Wavy Navy Pooh was posted up at the Miami Zoo with his family members. As he was leaving, he was apparently followed by a car. His real name was Chandler Bobian, was stopped at a light that evening when a driver of a gray Lexus drove up to the victim's car, opened fire, then drove off westbound on 152nd Street. 2 children, ages 5 and 1, and the women of the car were not hurt. He was unfortunately killed in the ambush as he was driving. Like I said before, at the time of the shooting, there was not much information to go off of. Police said that they only saw one shooter and that it was broad day, but there was more information that would slowly come out in the next couple of years, which culminated in an arrest of multiple ABK members and a full breakdown of the incident and what actually went down, which is honestly even crazier than I would have expected, which included him actually realizing that people were following him all day, calling his homies, apparently going to a Walmart and then leaving the Walmart thinking that they stopped following him, man. So we're going to get into everything that went down in the aftermath in chapter 3.
All right.
The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office says they found the 3 men responsible for the 2022 murder of a rising South Florida rapper.
And NBC6 reporter Amanda Placencia has the details on these new arrests from the Miami-Dade County Jail in Northwest Miami-Dade. Amanda?
Yes, Jackie and Trina, it's taken over 3 years to solve the murder of rapper Wavy Navy Poo, and now 3 men are in jail for this crime, which happened right in front of his kids.
Deputies say this trio is behind the murder of rapper Wavy Navy Poo, which happened over 3 years ago. 22-year-old Jakari Hardaway and 24-year-olds Jeremiah Longsworth and Raymond Aralus are all facing some serious charges for the crime.
1 count of second-degree murder with a weapon, 1 count of first-degree murder conspiracy, 3 counts of attempted felony murder with a firearm.
This dashcam footage from a nearby car captured the gunfire, which happened back in January of 2022, as a rapper was driving near Southwest 127th Avenue and Southwest 100. According to the details in the arrest report, the trio, who were in a rented Lexus, followed him from the zoo, shot him at a red light, and then drove off. The rapper's 2 kids, who were 1 and 5 years old at the time, and their mother were also in the car, but did not get hurt. Over 80 bullet casings were recovered at the scene. Detectives say cell phone records show that Hardaway texted several people taking credit for the shooting, writing Navy wet. On Thursday, the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office released this statement after the arrest. No matter how much time has passed, our investigators will continue to work to bring those responsible to justice and to bring closure to the victim.
As police went to review the scenes, they found over 80 bullet casings which were recovered, which shows that these dudes definitely hated this man and literally overcooked him for all types of reasons that we do not understand. According to the arrest reports, Bobian, aka Wavy Navy Poo, the mother of the child, were leaving the zoo where they were celebrating the 1-year-old's birthday. A Miami police sergeant who was in the area actually witnessed the shooting and then tried to stop the Lexus that was posted up, but it fled, reports said. Investigators later discovered Jakari Hardaway had rented the Lexus from a private owner and had picked up Jeremiah Bernard Longsworth and Raymond Aralus, aka Papo Chiefin, the day of the shooting, the report says. The Lexus arrived at the Zoo Miami and waited in the parking lot for the rapper to leave, then followed him to a nearby Walmart, then to the intersection where the shooting happened, the report says. The Lexus was later found abandoned in Sunrise. Detectives obtained cell phone records that showed Hardaway texted various people saying Navy wet shortly after the shooting, the report. He also took credit for the murder in a Telegram chat, the report says. Hardaway spoke with investigators on Wednesday, but said he didn't remember renting the Lexus and didn't know Longsworth, Aralus, or Wavy Navy Poo, even though Longsworth and Aralus admitted they knew Hardaway, reports said. Longsworth was booked into jail Thursday morning, where Aralus and Hardaway have been behind bars on unrelated charges, records show. Apparently, Papo Chiefin, aka Aralus, was previously arrested for dumping a body. But this is honestly crazy, bro, because they not only shot someone in broad daylight in front of a police officer, they rented the car with their own credit card that was just from a private owner, and literally had the picture of the license plate taken by the police officer that followed them, even though they got away. And then they just abandoned the car, bro. What? Why would you rent a car for this? And it also has a lot of people thinking, how on earth did they know that he was going to be there that day? It was definitely some type of setup. And a lot of people were basically trying to come to the conclusion that maybe people at the zoo had found them, but it seems like they were following them the entire day. Another thing that we learned is that he pulled up to Walmart, and apparently he called other members and said like, yo, I'm being followed by this car, and he noticed that he was being followed. But for some reason, he decided to try to take his car with his 2 kids and his wife and said, fuck it, I'm gonna try to drive away after this incident. I guess his previous shooting where he got shot up multiple times and survived had him thinking that he could have somehow got away, but it seems like they caught up to him at the red light and gunned him down in the middle of traffic. And these dudes completely shit the bed on trying to get away. I don't even think they were even trying to get away, man. It seems like they were trying to get caught for this, or they just didn't even care. At this point, it's honestly crazy, bro. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think about this whole situation, man, because it's something that's pretty unprecedented, but I guess it gives us closure of everything that went down. But real stay safe shit, you already know what's going on.
Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. Come follow us on Twitch. TWITCH.TVLOLOHAVIN. It was for me. So.